Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. Season 3, Episode 4, Boy, Girl, Boy, Girl. Carrie dates a 20-something man who is openly bisexual. Miranda deals with personal issues when Steve proposes moving in with her. Charlotte poses as a drag king for an artist at her gallery. And Samantha butts heads with her new 20-something male assistant. And now if we mean butting heads as in riding that. Anyway, hi guys. Welcome. It's Pod in the City. My name's John. This is Amanda.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Thank you so much for, getting us to 1,000. Keep subscribing. Yes. Keep telling all your friends. It's so exciting. Make sure you're joining our weekly roundup every Wednesday.
Yes. If you didn't know, every Wednesday we do a live. You can join us in the live. We've been popping off. Last week we had 40 people live at once, and oh my God. But we love it because we get to interact with you guys. You can send us messages and you can chat along with, and there's a really fun community of people over there. Check her out. Well, you're here too. Click subscribe, click the like, because it helps us out, baby. Also, yes, if you really, really are feeling us and you're like, you know what? A lot of shitty things are happening right now, and I need happiness in my life. Happiness. Check out our Patreon, baby. $6 a month. Patreon.com/podinthecity. And what that gets you is you get early ad-free access to these episodes, baby. And you get an extra episode every week. And this week it's Pillow Talk, where we just basically talked about sizes. I
had a milestone.
Why am I already forgetting it?
It was that I'm like feeling horny lately.
Oh yeah. Amanda actually feels horny for once, guys. It's pretty exciting. So check it out if you want to know what makes Amanda tick.
Oh, baby. Right before we started recording, this is what John does. We're like talking, and then John goes, "Okay, I'm ready."
I did not.
That's exactly what you did.
I'm going to do a representation of what we do every week, hiding in the corner before we pop out, because we decided we'd do that at some point and people liked it. This is me.
I'll play the thing.
So basically, yes, I was like, I'm ready.
Okay.
Which Amanda said it looks like I'm ready to take it. Which I said, I'm a lady.
I'm a lady.
I would never. But if you want to hear about that, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/podinthecity.
I don't want to hear some news and gossip.
Sure. Well, are we gonna start getting weekly updates on Kristen Davis's podcast? Or
can
we save it till interesting things? Like, did she drop any big tea?
Yeah, I learned a piece of information.
Okay.
But it was Kristen, for her first guest, she got, I don't know how she got her. High demand lady. Almost. Maybe better.
What if she got Kim Cattrall? Could you imagine? Okay.
Oh my God. No, I could not imagine. Hey, do you know that Mary and Jen from Sister Wives are starting a podcast, by the way?
I keep being forced to see shit that somehow, I don't know where it's coming from, but I saw their parody of the alphabet.
John,
It
that's when you
never
should pop in.
ended.
That's when you should pop in next week for our live, is for that, to break that down.
I
But
thought it was going to end at some point. It
no, I
just kept
know.
going.
Yeah,
It's
that was
like,
my
and I'm you,
exact
and you're and we're funny, and we do a thing, and you're no. Jared knows best. I'm like, who are these people? What are you talking about?
we don't really know either. At one point, Mary says like, "You little toot," and that's when I just wanted to end it all.
Who wrote it, do you think?
I
Chat
don't know, but like
GPT
I feel
or
like it happened like overnight because the episode just aired where Cody called them bitches. Anyway, I'm getting off topic shockingly already. I'm talking about sister wives, but Kristen Davis has a podcast, and her first guest is
Richard Burton?
um
Rock.
it was Richard
Lily.
Burton may have more lines than this person, because it's the person, the woman who is the very first person seen on Sex and the City when Carrie's telling that story. Like, once upon a time, there was a woman named Claire.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
So
That was the guess?
yeah. And then she said that she
Why didn't we start with Cynthia Nixon or something, girl? Like, what?
She wanted this one. And they talked about ghosting and how ghosting wasn't even a thing, but that's what that first episode is about. It's about ghosting. And then the woman says she remembers the table read, which Kristen Davis doesn't, which was kind of like a power move on Kristen's part, because Kristen's like,
she's like, I
I'm
did a
so
million
famous.
of those.
Yeah, it's like nothing. But this woman remembers, and she said that the original man cast for that, like her partner, was a Kennedy. And then when she showed up to film, it wasn't him anymore. Amazing.
A Kennedy? Okay.
A Kennedy.
Cute. Well, there was Canadian royalty in this episode, wasn't there?
What was this episode about? Oh, Alanis, Joan.
Come on. Isn't
it
it
was
ironic?
weird. This was such a weird thing that she was in this, because
it was like a 2-minute cameo of like nothing. It's literally nothing.
And also, I understand that it's like a kiss, but it's like HBO, so it's not like it's like the Roseanne kiss. Come on.
Compared to now, this almost just seems like Carrie just seems like she's in The Handmaid's Tale at this point, like with as fuddy-duddy, as uptight as she's acting. She's like, oh, girl, try again. It's like, really?
Like,
You think that's how this is gonna go down, girly?
She's a lesbian. She just said she was married to that one.
Like,
crazy. But
Carrie
Tag from Friends is in this. He's the guy, Mark, but I just call him Tag in my notes.
Oh,
not a Friends
the bi one. The bi
one, yeah.
I thought he was hot.
Yeah,
it makes sense that he's bi, because he's like more attractive than some of the other men.
Comes across, he can definitely play a guy bi, but he like I said in our Pillow Talk episode, he super fucking irritated me in this. And you know who really pissed me off in this episode? You know who really pissed me off?
Carrie.
No, think of which storyline between the four ladies I related to the most this week.
Oh God, Miranda, come on.
Yeah.
I was like, this is Amanda.
No, that's why I am now single. But it was the actual, like, that was the exact circumstance, was that there's this man presents you at this crossroads, and she establishes a boundary that he has agreed to, and then he throws a fucking fit, gives her the silent treatment, storms out, and then she's like, well, I guess move in then.
Okay.
It'll
be interesting. I mean, I feel.
Not agree. Do you think Steve was in the right here? She didn't do anything wrong. She goes to like a fucking scarf class. He made her feel so guilty, even though she had established these boundaries for weeks now. I'm not ready to be in a relationship yet. I'm not ready to get back together, and he's forcing her to do all this shit.
Okay, but is she really being forced? Well, you don't have to follow through.
Yeah, but he's also he stormed out and like refused to talk to her. So it was like you either have to I have to move in, or you don't get this dick anymore.
Well, that's how it goes. I kind of get it both ways, because if you're going to keep moving forward in the relationship and then you're going to tell me that you don't really want a relationship and that you whatever, then what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Just be like, okay, or be
Not.
upset about it and not go through it and then be like, okay, well then we're done.
Storm
I'm
out in the
good.
middle of the night when she's trying to tell you, I love you, but like, I just is really moving fast for me. And he's like, God damn it, you fucking bitch.
Is that what he really does? I think I missed that.
Well, he goes, Jesus Christ, Miranda. It's like you're that guy sometimes. As he's like aggressively putting on his shirt. Chill out, dude. Relax.
I would say that was slightly dramatized, but that's okay.
Okay, well, do you want to start this episode?
Yeah,
then?
I do. I'm ready.
Okay,
Oh, I'm
let's do it.
ready.
So this is Boy Gur, starring Alanis Morissette and tagged from
Alanis.
I love Alanis. She's
do
fucking
too.
fierce. She also didn't she date Dave Coulier when she was like 15?
Didn't she also date Ryan Reynolds for a long time?
Yeah.
But,
the song You Ought to Know is about Dave Coulier.
Ryan Reynolds is a bad guy, I guess, is what we're finding out now. So
he's what?
A bad guy.
Yeah. Human garbage. Well, anyway.
Uh-huh.
It's been said that New Yorkers are the most jaded people in the world. The fact is, we pretty much done and seen it all. It takes quite a bit to shock us, which is why when Charlotte said the new show at her gallery would totally blow us away, we took it with the proverbial grain of salt. So they're looking at this picture of this, what really just looks like a mask woman.
Mm-hmm.
They're like,
I mean, it's definitely dated, this story, because like again, this is like nothing. Now this would be like to me person, like nothing.
Like
absolutely
even register nothing in my head. Like
it wouldn't faze me. Anyway, if guys, it's women, guys, revolutionary women dressed as men.
And they're like, that's a woman.
I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, that's a woman. And then they talk about like Carrie smoking. And then they're like, wow, that looks amazing. I can't believe they're able to show that much bulge. And then Carrie's like, hurry up and lock it. And hurry up and look before Giuliani shuts it down. Another Giuliani joke in there.
I didn't even see any bulge.
Yeah.
I was looking. Where was it? I didn't see it. Even when they put it in Charlotte late. Oh.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was the Charlotte scene is actually kind of hot, I feel.
Yeah.
Like kind of. Also, it's interesting to see like how like her as a man, she's just like so beautiful.
I was gonna say she's not selling it the way that others did.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Stanford is attracted. Oh, Stanford's like, I've always been attracted to cowboys. And Carrie is like, reminder, John Wayne's a Jane. Again, throughout this whole episode, Carrie is such an ignorant bitch.
Which, again, I know we say this nearly every episode, but Carrie seems to display it every episode, is, bitch, you're a sex columnist. You should, in my mind, be like the most... She should be the one who's like, of course it's a fucking, like, who gives a shit? Like, why is there not more of that? Why is Samantha the one that is like the most revolutionary in their ideas?
Miranda's even worse because later when Carrie's like, oh, he asked me if it was a problem. And Miranda's like, what does he even mean? Of course it's a problem.
There used to be a whole stigma about bisexual. Like, I think there was I think there still kind of is, I guess, about...
Yeah, I guess
some women don't want to date bi men. Like they feel weird about it. Have you ever dated a bi guy?
Yeah, like mole guy, the one I went on that vacation with.
Okay, well, we need a different. Do you have any
in
other?
Bed. Like honestly, very amazing in bed. No, it's only like.
How were you able to get over the moles though in bed? I wouldn't be able to get over that.
There weren't that many moles. There was like.
Weren't they like bleeding?
There was one mole on his cheek that used to like just bleed. And this was another situation where I didn't
realize it was on his cheek.
Yeah, it was so awful. He was so annoying. I hated that guy so much. There was another situation where he kept like wanting to hang out and be like and then I had to take the girlfriend away from him too. I was like, I don't want to be here.
Amanda loves to hurt men.
Yeah, well, Yeah.
That's kind of her
Well,
thing.
they've done their share of hurting me too, babe.
Never.
Never. Okay. Well, the artist comes up of this revolutionary
Mm-hmm.
project, and Charlotte's like wet.
Isn't his name Laird?
Baird, I think. I think
Okay,
it's
because
Baird.
Laird was in Girls last week.
Girls, you're right. You're right.
Ew, I don't like either the name Laird or Baird. I think if I
Baird
had to
is way
choose, though, I'd
douchier
rather
than
be
Laird.
Laird than Baird.
But Charlotte looks so good here. She's wearing like a black turtleneck dress and like a ponytail. She looks tight. Carrie is dating a 26-year-old, which actually does seem insane.
But
How
how
old is she
old
now?
is
Like
she in here again?
34.
33?
That's like 26.
Yeah, that'd be me like dating what, like a 30-year-old or
I feel
29-year-old.
I feel like almost 28 is like an okay cutoff. I would never date a 28-year-old.
I was gonna say what? I couldn't. That's like 11 at this point. 11 years younger than me. I can't. No.
How young would you date? You're what, 38?
Like date?
Yeah, like date.
Probably 5 to 7 years younger than me.
It's not where I thought you were going with that thing. Thank God.
What do you think I was gonna say?
You were like probably like 5 to 7.
What the fuck?
I thought you were joking.
But I would also date
like 30.
slightly older too. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say because when I was 30, I felt I don't. So I would say 32.
When I was 30, the
Is
thought
that
of dating
7
like a
years younger?
37-year-old would be like hot. That's
The
like an
idea of
old
me
guy.
dating, but I don't see myself as that role in the relationship. So I feel like
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't feel like the
You wanted to
daddy in
be
the
that
relationship. I would ultimately rather be the one who's younger, or even if you
the
are
one with
younger,
the daddy.
I still want to feel like the one
You
who's
have
younger.
the daddy. You have a daddy.
But that's a state of mind. It completely is. You could be a 30-year-old daddy if you're serving it, right?
Yeah, I would go 37.
What? That's it?
That's as young as I would go, probably. Yeah.
How old would you go?
50.
That's it? Okay, would you have okay? Now, how about outside the boundary of dating?
Ooh, I
And
think
it's
if we
more
had
just
to
like
like
hooking
have
up
sex
with.
with like maybe like a 50, mid-50s, that'd be hot. 60 for like a. Also, I might date a 60-year-old. Is he gonna like buy me a bunch of shit? Sounds like he's pretty well established.
I wouldn't mind dating someone like who is older, but I'm way too much of a catastrophizer and a paranoid person that all I'd be thinking about is how they're gonna die way before I did.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna end up being like alone my last 10, 15 years of life because my partner already dies. So I'm like, but people can die anyway. People, yeah. So
yeah, that's where
my therapist would be like, okay, John, get your shit together.
Yeah, no, that's all. I never think about dying alone. I think that's such a pointless thing to think about.
I'm not worried about dying alone. I would more be pissed if I die alone after having spent 30 years with someone, and then the last years when I really would want someone, I'm then alone.
I've seen a lot of it happening where like they've been together 50 years and then like the husband dies and then these women thrive for their last 10 years.
I was gonna say you also
they're
see
not
a
weighed
lot
down by these losers.
Well, yeah, I guess. But you also see a thing where like old people will die within 24 hours of each other.
Yeah, I actually think that's really cute. Like that's like lovely.
It is.
It is. Like Carrie Fisher and her mom died at like a day apart from each other.
That was not cute. That
wasn't cute. That was
tragic.
Heartbreaking, devastating.
Okay, so Carrie's dating this 26-year-old guy. He's hot. I think I love a brown curly hair with a light.
Friends. I hate long hair. I hate this hair. But he's
see here, to me, this is about as long as I want, and he pulls it off.
He does pull it off.
It's pretty and it's nice. Yeah. It's not like
his
ramen
storyline in
something.
Friends is that he's younger too.
Who does he date?
Rachel. And then she has she breaks up with him on her 30th birthday because he's like too young.
Oh. Okay.
As John yawns. Do you not like Friends?
I like Friends, and I watched it growing up all the time.
You don't hyperfixate on things, do you?
Um,
Like, will you watch a movie and then never want to watch it again? Like, you don't need to rewatch episodes of things.
I will hyperfixate on things, but it's like more of like no, because the things that I'll rewatch are like Real Housewives, but I'm not sitting there
Okay.
like glued to it, being like,
Well, yeah, I know. It's like a
it's
comfort.
just in the
Friends,
background.
for sure. Okay, well, oh my god. My you know where I have that screw in my foot that's touching that nerve? My foot swelled up this morning and it's starting to deflate. So all day long the nerve keeps going like catching on
Ew.
the screw, and I have to like
Lovely.
let it fall. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay. Anyway, Carrie's dating this 26-year-old. Miranda goes, his generation has a whole different letter than ours. Meaning that the millennials hadn't even been really established yet, huh?
So they're Gen X, and
They're Gen X. No, they're Gen Y.
What was
He goes,
before
Y
X?
millennium. No, is there a what generation Y?
Isn't that
Millennium is Gen Y.
Isn't millenniums Gen? Aren't millenniums?
Yeah.
Gen X? So
Gen
he's
X.
probably a millennium, and they're Gen X,
Yes.
right?
So we were him.
No, because I'm close to an elder millennial.
Millennial starts in 1980 because Weiger on Doughboys used to think he was Gen X, and then he looked it up and he's like, well, I was born in 1980.
Well, I'm gonna say if this guy's 26 in 19,
He was born in.
he was born in 70, or in 2000.
74.
He was born in 70 something. So Carrie's a boomer.
Oh my god! Oh. But then they don't have a letter in it. That doesn't make sense.
Well, it was whatever is before that.
Do they call themselves boomers? Okay, who cares?
I don't think they called themselves boomers.
Let's get into
They used to say baby boomers. Let's actually get into the show. Okay, so
Miranda comes home to Steve watching basketball and eating pizza. This is fine. Like
Miranda, I just let myself in. I just had some pizza. Watch the game.
But she's like, so did you work? Oh, by the way, Steve goes, oh, I don't have to work till 10 p.m. 10 p.m., John. He works at 10 p.m. Can you imagine?
You know, I can't imagine if your lifestyle is with someone who works during the daytime. No, I can't. But I could do that.
Really?
Work at 10 p.m.
You know what? I could actually work an overnight shift. I actually think I'd be really good at it.
I think I could probably do that. It would ruin the rest of my life, but
I love to exist in the dark. That's why I wake up so early and then go to sleep again, because I love when all the lights are out and I turn on all the lights in my house. Like all the mood lights.
I absolutely hate waking up when it's still dark out. Hate it. Oh, I'd say I hate it more than most anything. I think it reminds me back to like all the times I've had to do that. Like I had to do that when I was doing shows, because we would have to be, when I was doing touring shows, we'd have to be like out at campus at like 7 a.m. or like we'd have to be in schools at 7. Or then when I was teaching, oh my God, I'd have to be up at like 5 something.
My old life, that used to mean like waking up before the sunrise means this is going to absolutely have a hangover. So I guess maybe now I just appreciate that when I wake up, I never have a hangover. But anyway, Miranda comes home. Steve's there. She seems a little like put off. Like, I thought you were working. Why are you here? Like he seems to have not informed her that he's on his way there, which would irritate me to no end.
I agree, but I also think it was slightly a different time. Like, because we weren't really like texting each other and stuff.
Oh, that is okay.
Like that is you'd have to like, I don't even know how you would tell the person you're coming over. You call them,
call her at
their house.
She's like in a major meeting.
You're calling on the phone. You're like, hi, can I speak to Miranda?
I'm on my way over. I'm gonna get a pizza. What do you want on?
Can you let Miranda know that this is Steve? I have to work tonight at 10. What kind of pizza does she want? I remember back in the day having to call my dad worked at he worked for a road striping company, but then worked, he did road striping, but then he went into working in the office stuff. And I remember being a kid and calling the office and talking to the front desk ladies and being like, hi, can I talk to my dad? And they'd be like, yes, ma'am. How are you? No, they knew me. They knew me. They'd ask me how I was. Everyone loved me, Amanda. I would have loved you as a kid for sure. I'm loved.
I'm loved too. I think we have a really good support system around both of us.
Hey, everyone. If you don't feel like you have a good support system, just know you are loved.
You are loved. Especially if you're watching us and you still like us. Then you're one of
Yeah,
our people.
then I really love you, actually.
So Stephen Miranda, fuck. And he says, Miranda absolutely
Mhm.
loved the man inside. This fucking looked pretty hot too. He
Steve,
was
I
really wide up on her.
1000% think he knows how to fuck. He
For
knows
sure he
how
does.
to put it
Like
down.
David Eichenberg, you can tell knows how to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just I can see by the body, by all of it.
Like the way the
This
hips are
man,
kind of the way that the
yes,
butt is tightening.
he knows
Love
what's
it.
up.
She just didn't love him inside her apartment all the time. I hear that. Okay, so the timeline here is all over the place. Because now, the timeline here is all over the place because that was nighttime. But now Carrie's still in the same outfit, and now she's skating in the daytime with Tag from Friends. And Carrie's okay. Let's talk about the scream. People hate when Carrie screams. I think it's one of the things I love the most about her.
Her thing when she's like, ah, like I can't
Yeah,
even
'cause, like,
replicate it. It's like the
it really goes up into a colatura.
yeah, and it
Like, it
like
switches into, like, a
cracks
third octave.
kinda.
Yeah, and anyway,
It's
she looks
fine.
so gorgeous here. When they're, like, sitting on that bench and they're kinda just kissing and her legs are all, like, cutesy, she looks
They
so
look
beautiful.
really good
They look
together.
really good. They look like a classic little, like,
Mhm.
couple. And Tag asks, so Kerrigan, what was your last serious relationship? And then Carrie's like, and it's like, Carrie, like, how long has it fucking been? And it was not even that bad of a breakup. This was like pretty easy for you.
Big.
Other people have had breakups too, so it's not all about you. She's like, I ended something a while ago. And then he's like, okay, well, there was this girl, and before her there was Matt. Is that a problem? And then it cuts to them having brunch, and Miranda's like, of course it was a problem.
I think the only way it would be a problem is if you feel insecure, but everyone feels insecure, so I also get it. I don't know how I would feel. I have been with men who would say they were bi. I have not been in a long-term relationship with a man who said he was bi.
I would always be scared he was going to cheat on me again because I said this in Pillow Talk, but I would always be
anyone
like,
could cheat on you.
True, but it's like, but there's something there that you can get from men that I physically cannot give to you.
And I would also, and actually by your approximation, I would say in my experience as well, yeah, men are cheating on someone to have sex with the opposite.
Are they always
you know
like?
what I mean?
Okay, no, this is more Pillow Talk. I was going to get really down and dirty, but okay, let's not. Let's save it for the
Check out our Pillow Talk because we do
actually got pretty down and dirty.
down and dirty. No, there was a moment where I was thinking like, oops, this is being recorded.
On Pillow Talk?
Yeah. It was towards the beginning too. I was like, oh, oops,
Probably.
dude, jeez, all right.
We just press record in the middle of talking about sex. Okay.
Well, I keep seeing this father figure cut of Harry Styles, and
that's right. Oh yeah, then we're supposed to be recording this, and then we started talking about Harry Styles, and I'm like, let's do Pillow Talk. Okay. Carrie goes, well, all the bi guys. Carrie says she panicked and she said it wasn't a problem. He's such a good kisser. And then Samantha here is the only one on the right side of history. She's like, who? Oh, yeah. She goes, well, I could have told you he was bi, sweetie. He took you ice skating for God's sake. Then Samantha goes, I'm a trisexual. I'll try anything once. Carrie says, all the bi guys, like I understand that there are bi people, but like I knew bi guys in college, but in the end, they all end up with men. And then Samantha goes, so did all the bisexual women. And which I think is actually a pretty good point.
I would agree on that too.
And then Carrie goes, oh my God, why am I not okay with this? And this is my favorite line in Sex and the City history.
Although I think I was arguing that, was I saying this in our other thing? That I do think that bi men will end up with women. I think that argument is dated or antiquated.
So you just end up with the opposite. Carrie says,
yeah, basically.
Carrie says, why am I not okay with this? Ugh, I'm an old fart. And Samantha goes, correction, a hot old fart. Such a funny line. That is so funny. That is so funny. Because her line reading of it is that she wasn't intending it to be funny at all.
Uh-huh.
He was like being like nice. Like you're
But if you
hot.
call someone a hot old fart, it sounds pretty.
But then it comes,
Huh?
it makes you think of like when you eat like Filibertos at 2 o'clock
Like
in
a
the
hot
morning after
old
drinking.
fart.
You can
Yeah.
have like a hot fart.
Oof, girl. I don't want to think about that, actually.
I don't either. Do not miss those days.
It's true. It's too true to life.
No main roads, though, to Filiberto's from our apartment.
Oh my God.
So Charlotte goes, well, I'm very, I care about a lot about labels. Gay, straight, pick a side and stay there. Like, what's...
I can't. This whole thing is just stupid. It doesn't make sense. It's just dumb. And nowadays it would like this is just like nothing. The thing would be like, oh, they're polyamorous, or it'd be something like, or they want to have multiple partners, or like, and even then that storyline is at this point kind of like played out. Yeah. What do you think is the like, what would be the like wild thing now if you were trying to make a show like this? Like, oh, he only likes to be like this guy only.
I think like probably
takes
the
it in the ass or
something thing. Pegging, but even pegging isn't that shocking now.
Yeah, no, pissing or shitting. I guess that would make sense.
Because that's like the only thing that's still kind of.
I don't think that will ever not be
like
controversial.
A feeding fetish. But then that's like, why are you dating? Like you would, I feel like those people would find each other in like that facet. Why would you be dating that person?
Yeah, I don't know what it would be. Maybe it would be someone who's a furry.
Someone who's a Republican.
That's indefensible. I would rather
I would struggle
furry than a anyway.
So Carrie goes home and she's like,
with this guy.
Oh, Carrie goes up. Miranda's like, well, I'm off to have a date with my remote control. I have 3 hours. Steve's still at work, so I have 3 hours of blissfully uninterrupted me time. And God, I remember a couple of weeks ago. Oh, last week I was like, can we record on Saturday, please? Because
yes, right before the tragedy.
Then I had said to Jody that like there was like one day in between where like I had an alone time, and I said to Jody, I actually looked at myself in the mirror today and I was like, I had such a great day with you today. Like it was like, because I knew like it was just that one day and then it was gonna go back to just like not being alone.
Well, now you have plenty of open time. Oh, except for Thursday. That's gonna be very filled. Very
God, yikes. Okay, well, anyway. Carrie types and she says, if we can take the best of the other sex and make it our own, has the opposite sex become obsolete? Then there's a storyline where Samantha hires this new assistant, Matt, whose name is Chris Tardio in real life, and he's on The Sopranos. And you know what else he was on, Joan? He was a recurring character in Younger.
Seinfeld.
Younger, starring Sutton Foster.
Oh, is he the guy that she's with?
Is he the younger? No, because I feel like he's like.
No, she's the younger.
I thought she was the older.
She has 2 different guys. No, she's playing the person who's younger, and there's an older guy and a younger guy. One of them's Nico.
Oh, everyone loves
that one bi guy, Nico Tortorello or whatever, who, spoiler alert, guys, is married to a woman. This Nico Tortorello or whatever. He's bi.
Okay.
He's on Younger. He plays the other guy on Younger. Me neither. But Hilary Duff is on it. And so I was wondering, is he the other guy that she gets with?
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, this guy was on The Sopranos. He gets like brutally murdered at one point. It's pretty rough.
He's hot in this.
He's hot, and he's actually perfect casting for this because the whole storyline with Samantha is that she has this assistant, and he is younger too, right? I think. Yeah. But it's like a major like alpha male situation, and like she's the boss, but he's like this like he's like
all machismo-y, and he's like on the phone being like, "What the fuck? You're not gonna fucking do that," and whatever. And she's like, "You can't act like that." And then she's like, "You're fired." but you can fire into my pussy.
Yeah, like let's just wrap up her storyline. Actually, maybe let's just do this in chunks because so it's back and forth. He's being a dick to people, and she's like watching him through the window. But then they get in a big fight, and he's like, she's like, go out, do this, and then get lunch. He's like, no, I'll get lunch first. She's like, you can't talk to me that way. And he's like, who the fuck do you think you are? And she's like, I'm your boss. And then he like picks up the phone and he's like, yeah, fuck you too. And he hangs up. And she's like, well, you're fired. But the good news is I can fuck you now. That's the end of that story.
And then she just like jumps on top of him, basically.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like
damn, okay.
Nightmare. Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
It must be nice to be Samantha, where you just know every man wants to put it
I
in you.
I know, right? Like you're like, it's fine. He wants.
You're like, whatever. It's all good.
Now Miranda and Steve are in bed and she starts this fight about like, your pillow is on my side of the bed. And then he asks
Steve
for a
is
drawer.
being sweet though here. He's like, I'm sorry, Miranda. Tomorrow night I'll put a stripe down the middle of the bed.
No, he's being sarcastic and she is not.
Would you find that? Well, okay though. Okay. This is obviously to a boiling point for her because are you really yelling at someone for like being on your half of the bed? That's the person that you're with. And it's not like you've been married to this person 20 years, like, or anything. Like,
well, she yells at him for all his clothes being on the floor, and then it escalates to him asking for a drawer. And then she's like, a drawer? What are you talking about? And then he's like, actually, I think that we should move in together. And then she really loses it. And she's like, we're not even, like, we just started dating again, which I agree with. Let's not rush this. Do you know how much more complicated we're going to immediately make this the second you move in?
Well, I think moving in. And then also, like, what about Steve's apartment?
Well, I think he's getting a little bit of an upgrade.
That's what I'm saying. Is like,
to me, it's like, well, are you just looking for like a better living situation?
Part of me, if I was Miranda and I knew my boyfriend was living in the apartment he was living in, I'd be like, move in with me. I would probably want him to move in with me.
But he's always there anyway.
That's why I'd say get rid of your nasty ass apartment. I don't even want the idea of that he was at that apartment and then he came to see me. I don't want him even near that apartment. No.
Yeah.
Gross. It looked like it was like covered in jizz and shit.
Yeah,
like,
it was
for real.
Bad. Well, is that it?
Right. No, Miranda.
So then he gets mad and he goes, Jesus, Miranda, it's like you're the guy sometimes. He's like, I guess I'll just leave.
Like, yeah.
But she's not being a bitch though. She's like, she's like, please don't leave. Just like this is moving really fast and like I just need my space. And he's like, he's just really like,
yeah,
I like it. Yeah. Can we like, okay, anyway.
I agree.
To a certain extent, but you love Steve.
Got that big I love Steve. Steve can do nothing, no wrong. I love that man. I love
Miranda goes to a scarves class to find her inner goddess if it kills her. Then Carrie and Miranda out of the Carrie again is just making a mockery out of the class, like every class she attends. She's like rolling her eyes and talking through the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Then they're walking on the street, and Carrie, this is one of my favorite outfits of Carrie. She looks so fucking good head to toe. She's wearing a long turtleneck, long sleeved, like dress kind of sweater, like long sweater, blue turtleneck with a belt, and then this long white, like kind of fur, like jacket, and then her hair is like stacked up on her head. She looks so pretty. And then Miranda's like, they're talking about how Miranda wants to be the alpha dog, and it's like a fight, and Miranda returns home and then she immediately panics at Steve not being there. So then I guess she just caves in. The whole idea of like all of your boundaries and, your women's intuition, forget about that. At least
she's like, I was going to make pasta and this special sauce. And then I just ended up buying some.
First she panics. Then she comes back on another day. She's processed this now. So now she comes back. He's there again by himself, and she's carrying all this shit and she's freaking out, and then she drops a pasta sauce on the ground. It shatters, and Steve does one of the most annoying things people do to me is when a glass breaks somewhere, there's always some fucking hero out there that's like, nobody move, it's broken glass.
That's one of her.
I
That's
always
one of
want to be
Amanda's
like,
moans.
I,
She doesn't like when people.
it's
You
like,
don't got to be the hero with the
thanks.
broken glass. All right, I get it. I get it.
People
I get it.
act like it's a loaded grenade.
Now,
Everyone's fine.
it is scary, I will say. I don't like a shattered glass because you never know. There might be shards somewhere. There might be tiny little fragments. I've had situations where I got a piece of glass in my foot.
That's fine, but people are like, nobody move. Like, it's already happened.
I thought this scene was really cute and semi-iconic. I don't know. I kind of remembered it because she's standing there and like the thing falls out and it's like on the ground. It's very visual. And I would just be like,
I look bad sometimes, and sometimes like my breath really stinks in the morning, and you're gonna see all that. This was sweet, and he's like, "No, Miranda, I love everything about you. Relax, let me move in."
So the idea here is basically that Miranda's all her shit was mostly just because she was insecure, and it's not because she doesn't actually want to be living alone.
I guess, but it seems like her initial instinct was that, no, I need space.
Yeah.
Nothing came up before that moment about her being self-conscious at all. It was, I need my space. I can't wait to go home and have time alone. I'm being a
I
hater
still
right
want
now.
Steve.
I know, for sure.
Put it on me.
I would marry Steve.
Same. I think he's like my favorite of all the men on the show.
I was thinking you and me should do that TikTok thing with like you pick your favorite, you label all the characters in Sex and the City.
Oh.
I always look too busted when I'm watching TikTok for me to
I don't want to ever put myself on I don't have my face in any of my TikToks because I don't even want to get started on that.
Let's do Charlotte's storyline really quick. The guy asked her to be a model for
as
him.
A drag king.
Yep.
And he's like, "You're very beautiful."
Right. She looks like gorgeous.
She does. She has her hair slicked.
As like if she was a man, like a gay man, let's say, she would still do very well. She's stunning.
She'd definitely like be a twink.
For sure. Like for sure. So
she has her hair slicked back, low pony. Yeah. I mean, she's giving male vibes, but her face,
pretty good,
is too.
She doesn't feel masculine enough, so she asks for a sock.
She's like,
gives her some. She grows some balls.
A sock. He goes behind her.
This is pretty hot, actually.
Yes, but I'm also confused. I would say this is a more compelling storyline of interesting sexuality than the bisexual storyline, because this man clearly, I mean, okay, so he
seems a little gay too.
He takes the sock and like puts it down her pants and is like adjusting it, and then she's like turns around and then she like kisses him, but then he pulls the mustache off. So then it's like, yeah, I guess I just have questions that come from an artistic perspective too, of like, okay, if you're a heterosexual man that is into women, what are you telling with this story of women dressed as men? Like, what are you trying to portray?
Right.
I just think, times have changed.
Have they?
Have changed. Hopefully.
All right. Well, Carrie attends this party.
Yeah.
They kiss, they fuck. And then she hangs up her picture and she doesn't ever want to see this guy again because she's embarrassed with how forward she was, which really all she did was turn around and kiss him. So, all right, relax. But anyway, Carrie attends this party with Tag. She's wearing this black spandex dress with a huge white flower right here. He's annoyingly... She looks great. He's annoyingly too blasé about it, just like he was before. Like, relax, Carrie. Because she keeps asking him, oh, are you attracted to him or her? Or who are you attracted to? And he's like, I'm just into you. Relax, baby. Which I find annoying. It's like, that doesn't help.
I think she's being annoying, though, here.
She is definitely being annoying. But then he's like, well, yeah, this is actually my ex-boyfriend's house. Is that a problem? It's not a problem, right? That seems like that would be a recurring thing if you were dating this man, is he would just gaslight you by constantly saying, it's not a problem, right?
I just feel like that'd be something you would tell someone before you get to the door.
Yeah, this was the guy I had referred to earlier about my
Like, come
last
on.
relationship. Anyway, Alanis Morissette is there. This woman like picks out a wine bottle and she's like, "Time to play," and they play spin the bottle. Alanis Morissette rolls and it lands on Carrie, and Carrie's like, "Oops, it's a girl, go again." And then Alanis Morissette's like, "That's okay." And then it goes into this like whoa thing where Carrie's like, "I have a decision to make. I could have been a total bitch. You're like, I could have taken my old fart ass home, or I could go with this. Wow, what a rousing experience." So she like goes, they kiss. It's actually a nice kiss. And then she
Carrie
gets
just
up.
looks like a dead fish the whole time. Carrie's like,
Oh, that is true. Actually, it isn't a good kiss. Alanis is doing all the work, and Carrie's like, "Ugh."
Carrie's like acting as though she's like just so disturbed. She's like,
Well,
I
she's gonna
can't
cat
even believe I'd be kissing a girl.
So that's over. Carrie now
Stupid.
pieces out. Says, "Oh, I'm gonna
She's
just
like,
go and get some cigarettes," and then she leaves and says that she never
that's
sees him
just
again.
me.
That's just me.
They kept doing this
I
thing,
know.
this
I hate
bit,
it.
this that's just me bit. And I can't remember,
Didn't pay
maybe the
off.
second one that she did made me so angry and
Like where
annoyed.
she's like, 2 hours later, he was in my bed. That's just
Yes.
me.
I was like, huh? You're
Okay.
implying that you just bring home dudes to
Yes,
fuck that you
that's
met at the
just
club, and
me.
yet you're too prudish to be kissed during spin the bottle by a girl.
Yes, you're like very attractive girl too. Um,
Carrie, you got problems. Lots of them.
And that's it. And she goes, "So I took my old
Wow.
fart, yeah, so I took my old fart ass home. That's just me." Great. Great
I can't
episode.
believe that was so fast.
I know.
We
It's okay.
we
It's
finger
not a short
blasted
episode.
through that beach.
I remember for this episode, there's commentary on the DVDs, and
Mhm.
Michael Patrick King goes on and on about how at the end, when Carrie's walking down that stairwell, she takes this moment and like looks down to like check if anyone's there first. And like it's like that was a Sarah Jessica improv. That was all the way. That was Sarah Jessica all the way because she lives in New York, so that's something that she would do. You know, it's like, wow, amazing.
I would suggest, friends, that you check out our And Just Like That documentary episode,
Mm.
because I will say Sarah Jessica Parker, it didn't make me like her a lot after it, but it definitely made me appreciate her more and her perspective and her input
Yeah.
into who Carrie Bradshaw is and what the show of Sex in the City and Just Like That is. Now, do you think you have any prediction? Do we still have any predictions? When's And Just Like That coming back? Have we got an announcement
Oh
yet?
God, I
We're
feel like
still
it.
waiting in limbo.
And just like that, season 3, everything
Yeah.
we know so far comes back in 2025. Great.
Rosie.
Rosie.
Anyway, guys, we love you so
Yes,
so much. This is kind of a short episode. I'm surprised, but
I love
anyway,
it. It's
if you want to
luxurious.
listen to a little more, go check out our Pillow Tack episode over on our Patreon.
Yep.
Patreon.com/pod in the city.
Join us for a weekly roundup every Wednesday at noon Mountain Standard Time.
Exactly.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Walter knows it's over. All
Walter's
right.
so happy.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Let's play this. What's happening?